自覚値。無限に行くぜ。私のは一味違うわよ。
Hello guys, this is Sharp talking, and in today's video let's talk about the Star Ocean characters. I know they got released some days ago, but well, there was just so many things to talk about and I didn't have the time to talk about them. And now is the time to do this, and let's go to the Vinyl Weapon option here, and the banner will last for a long time. You can check here, and it's 29 July. We still have a lot of time to decide if we want to summon these characters or not. And let's just click here. This banner here that goes up to 29 July is actually the one that you have to purchase with money, but this one here is the banner that you can still summon with gems. Okay, let's just click here. And there's two characters in the banner. Cliff is the other character from the crossover, but he is a free character. You can still summon his artifact. And let's just talk about the artifacts here. When we click on the drop rates, you know that there's no other artifacts to be summoned on this banner besides the Star Ocean artifacts. The first one is the first mate bow, and this is for let me just check her name, Reimi. I always forget her name. Myuria is the sorcerer. Let's just click here again. Drop rates. You can check that. First mate bow is for Reimi, window long staff is for Myuria, and quark girder is for Cliff. But you have to check something here also. Their chances to drop are very low. 0.3% for both Reimi and Myuria, and 0.2% for Cliff. Well, we still have to consider that you're always summoning 10 in numbers of 10, but it's still very low number in my opinion. And well, this happens because there's two weapons in this banner as well. This will start to be a common thing for collab characters. Sometimes not all collab characters will have this, but when they do, the weapons will steal some of the drop rates for the characters, and that's actually bad. But in this time, not that bad, because these weapons are just so good that they can be more worth than the characters itself. And let's talk about this later, but let's start with Reimi, and we can check her status by clicking on the tail. But before we do this, we need to talk about her party skill, and this is the most important thing about Reimi. She has the easygoing skill, and the easygoing skill is the one that increases the critical chances for your whole squad when using it as a party skill. And it's very hard to find this, and will help a lot when using characters like Cena or Leon that's coming for healing strategy, or just for more damage. Well, when we click here on Reimi, we can check her status, and Reimi is not that good because she's first talking, she's a bow user. You know that bow users have problem when choosing what they want to do, and Reimi still has this problem. You see that she focuses on physical attack. She has around the same values as Valkyrie, and her mega attack is based on 1k, and her physical and mag defenses are around average. Okay, but that's not her problem. Here we still need to check her attacks, and she has 3 attacks like most characters in the game, but she just swaps between the type of the attacks. The first one is physical, the second one is magical, the third physical, magical, physical, and then she gets back to physical again. And this is why there's a problem with Reimi, because well, you see that her first status that she focuses is physical, but actually her best attack is magical. It's this red rain attack here, and the fourth attack is red rain again, and she really likes to use the fire element. So her purified attack is physical, so you see there's a problem of focus here, and that's why Reimi will suffer because of her own choices. Let's just check the number of hits for all her attacks. The Sound of Thorns attack is non-elemental attack, and it has, let me check here, 3 hits. Red Rain has 8 hits, it's very high number count. And the last one, the Crescent Moon, has 4 hits. This totalizes 15 hits for an archer is very good, I do believe. Not many archers have that many hits. Marge is a character that also has a lot of hits. Also, let me just Rufus. Rufus also has a lot of hits, but he misses a lot, and he needs enemies to be very large for him to hit all the attacks. So this is the most hitting type of archers in the game right now. But March has a lot of ways to just fix all her problems as an archer, but Reimi does not have it. Reimi kinda has a problem with focus like most characters, most archer characters, okay? So let's just give a look at other stuff, and her skills will show how much of a problem she has. The first one is True Seeing, and True Seeing is a very old skill. It's used by it's used by Caradoc and Alicia. These are old characters. Caradoc is even a story character. Alicia is a character that was one of the first Gacha characters. We can check here. Alicia has True Seeing as well. Here. And it only increases the critical hit damage up to 10% on max level. That's not much, but the base critical hit damage is only 20%, okay? So it goes to 30. And the other character, like I said, Caradoc also has this True Seeing here, okay? So she has a very simple type of skill to be used here. But at least she increases critical hit damage, but you still need to remember that she needs critical hit chance for it to be aligned. And at least she has it on Mind Unity. But let's talk about Fortune Baby first. It lowers the chance of being poisoned, frozen, and or paralyzed. Well, the game meta right now is on dealing with bosses as fast as possible and not exactly resisting stuff. And we also have this, her bow, that kinda blocks status element from being inflicted if you get her bow, and then this will be just useless if you're using her bow, okay? And also it's taking a slot that could be used for more damage or more defensive type skills. Now we have the last one, is called Mind Unity. It's from the White Orb and increases both attack and mag and improves her critical hit chance. Well, being an archer, she needs to increase both attack and mag, and it was the first problems with most archers when they were just focusing on either mag or either attack. Just like Rufus that has one for each one of them, or Nachi they only increase in mag, but at least Nachi is totally focused on the mag. Okay, and then, well, we need to talk about her Unique Orb. And the Unique Orb is just an enraged type of skill. It increases both attack and mag at the start of each turn, so it is stackable just like Rage, but she also boosts fire attack damage. Well, boosting even further the fire attack damage means that you need to use fire bolts to make best use of her skills. And also try to use the red rain attack 2 times. Or you either raise this by potential force, or you can just use some runes. The white rune can also have the attack plus skill, so she can sometimes use 4 times. Okay, and well, this kind of explains Reimi, and let's just give a look at her bow, because the bow is very important to explain something about her. And the bow is from fire element, and also very high numbers here. You can see that this is a 3rd generation bow. The 1st generation bows reached only 1.5k attack and mag. The 2nd generation bows reached around 1.8k attack and mag, and now the 3rd generation bows reach 2.2 attack and mag. It's the best one right now. We can have more status in this, and this is just so good that you can still use it as a sub-weapon for staff users. And also has this Flame Forte skill. This Flame Forte skill increases a lot of the fire damage. It's around, I do believe it's more than 20%, but while the trigger H is very low, it's only 15% of triggering this skill. You just can't rely on it. But, well, the action skill is the most important thing. It raises a barrier to prevent status ailment and recovers a moderate amount of HP for all allies. You don't really need to upgrade the action skill of this stuff, because the most important thing is just to use this barrier to prevent being debuffed with poison, curse, freeze, stone, paralyze, and this stuff that always makes you lose battles. So this is the first of this kind. There will be other weapons with the same skill, just like swords. People like to use the same type of skill on a sword for their own, that's a supportive type of character, or other characters as well. But this is the first, it's very important to have this stuff here. and very valid, okay? And also from the fire element, so she can get even more damage for her 2 powerful attacks if you can manage to hit 4 attacks with Reimi. Okay, now let's just talk about the other character. The other character is Myuria. She has the party skill called Calm. Calm only increases mag defense, is not important, it's just skippable. And we can just check here her detail and check on some of her status. Myuria is, you could say that she's like Lightning Freya because of her status. Her HP is very high for a sorcerer. She also has, like I said, mag attack based, very similar to Freya. Her physical defense is below average, but most sorcerers also has this same type of status and a very high value for mag defense. Well, let's just check her attacks. She has Lightning Blast and Thunder Flare. Lightning Blast is 4 hits and Lightning Blast is 6 hits. Thunder Flare is 4 hits. And Lightning Blast again 6 hits. Então, so she has 16 hits to hit the enemy. Let me just be sure of this and check this. I'm opening the website right now so I can confirm. And well, Myuria is unfortunately very similar to Freya on Japan grade. She even has the same grade as Freya. And that's it, yeah, 6 hits for the first and 4 for the second, totalizing 16 hits for all her attacks. The magic here is very generic and it's used by other characters as well. And her Purify attack is just magical damage to all enemies. I can be sure of the multiplier for this, but I'll be doing this some tests in the future, but not right now. Okay, let's just talk about her skills, and there's the Active Reinforce. The Active Reinforce is very good by itself, because it can increase the damage dealt by action skills by up to 15%. Well, but there's a problem with Myuria and this stuff, because Myuria doesn't have any way to raise her base values for damage. Well, if she had a way to increase her mag before the Active Reinforce, this would be better. She can, but she needs her orb for this. Well, what we need to compare with other characters, they also has the Active Reinforce. Alphonse has the superior version of the Active Reinforce, but compared to a first generation character, we can compare here to Lynette. The original Lynette here also has the Active Reinforce. We can check by her orbs, and this is the same stuff. It's on 10% because it's on level 0, but Lynette has something called Divine, and Divine can raise up to 16% of all of her status, and increasing her own attack as well, so the Active Reinforce will be even stronger. Other character that has this stuff is Nachi. Nachi has the same stuff. She also has the Active Reinforce, and she also has Haunted skill that improves the passive skill activation rate, so she can even use some Mag Plus type of orb that increases her mag even further. And also Focus. Focus increases the mag each of her turns, even the first one. But she needs to reach 4th turn for this to reach the max potential. But still she can raise the base value damage of the skill. Something Myuria can do without her orb. And that's why this is not exactly a good thing. Let's get back to Myuria here. We'll click on the tail. Let's get back to the character skill. And now let's just say talk about the other skills. And there's Monster Knowledge, and improves critical hit damage and crystal drop rate. The crystal drop rate is just like Renvald also has this stuff, and she increases the critical hit damage but does not increase the critical hit chance. So don't have too much chance to inflict critical hit, and it just won't be that much worthwhile as you think. But she also increased the critical drop rate. This is very okay because she has 16 hits. Okay, and she also has the Lightning Sight passive skill that it deals increased lightning damage. Well, you see, if you're using Active Reinforce with the lightning type of staff, this was her only way to increase the base value from the skill. But she needs to be, it needs to be a staff with a lightning damage. We have the Tonitrus staff, but well, on the same banner there's this all dark rod that also has the lightning element, and it's her own staff. And it tries to fix some of her problems because she doesn't have a way to increase the critical hit chance, the staff has the critical passive. But the critical passive is not at 100% of triggering, and she won't be as reliable as some other characters. They also increase the critical hit chances. Okay, and this weapon also has empty slot, and the action skill is called Thunder Sphere. And Thunder Sphere is very good, guys, because it uses extra strong damage. Extra strong damage is something that was only on the Millennium Holy Staff that uses the Festival skill. It was our best source of damage, but it was non-elemental. It was the best source of damage, dealing damage to all enemies. Okay, so AoE damage, the best was Festival skill because it dealt extra strong, that is better than extra heavy. Okay, now let's just close here. Get back to Myuria. You can click on the tail. And we need to talk about another stuff, just that. Also finishing about the staff, is just that this staff is also a 3rd generation staff. It has almost 2.5k mag damage, mag attack, and it's a very high value because it's just the best one we have right now. Millennium Holy Staff is a 2nd generation staff, so when hitting for non-resistant, it will do more damage than the Millennium Holy Staff because of the value of her mag. Okay, so well, this kind of explain the stuff here. The guard hate is average, not that high but not that bad. Now we get back to Myuria. Talk about her orb. Well, she's a 1st generation character. She has the activate that increases 1000 for attack and mag, and 500 for defense and mag defense. And her unique skill is the Strong Pride that greatly improves all status when it says ability status when at around 75 HP or more. Okay, well, this is very similar to Freya. Freya has something like this, but from Freya it comes from her natural skills, but now it's just based on an orb. Well, this also can raise the base value for when using skills with Act Reinforce, and this is her only way to try to perform nukes. But still, I don't think this is that much good or that much reliable for nuke. Strategy is only for 1st turn when you're still on full health. Okay, but as you see, Myuria really needs her orb for shining, and she's competing with both Killing and Renvald right now. Well, Renvald is a character with 2 attacks. He won't be dealing as much damage as Myuria, but Killing can do as much damage as Myuria, and she is kinda of a free character. She's not available for most people right now, but she is as a really competitor for Myuria, and most people still prefer to use Killing because Killing just raises a lot of the Purification Gauge. She's both offensive and defensive, very good on the both sides, and that's why Myuria will not shine on our actual meta or the current state of the game. Okay. Well, now we have to talk about the other character, and the other character is Cliff. Cliff was given from free as soon as you finish his story, and we can click on Cliff. Unfortunately, besides I don't have the banner, I can check his max status because I don't have that much experience to level him up to level 99. But there's a way to just know how much status Cliff has, and it's just by trying to increase him to level 50. Well, why 50? Because it's 49 levels up to for you to reach a level 50, and 9 levels again for you to reach level 99. So this is half the way, and it's half the status that you can get. And you can check that you have to remove the initial values because the initial values are separated. Okay, but you can check that Cliff will have around 5.5k HP, around 1k physical damage, and around 700 physical damage, physical defense, and 600 mag defense. His defense is on the average, and his attack is also on the average. He's not not better than most other characters. They also use great swords, and we need to talk about his class. You see, he's Heavy Warrior. Heavy Warrior are the great sword users in the game, and he faces a lot of competition because being on the class that's a lot of characters use this class, and also the same element. From characters with the great sword users with the fire element, we have Arngrim, we have Arngrim, we have Tyla, we have Malvina, we have also Ilya that was released just alongside Cliff, and Aelia is free, and Aelia is way better than Cliff, unfortunately, or fortunately, because she's also free. Well, to talk about Cliff, we need to check his abilities and his attacks as well. You see that Cliff has 3 attacks, all 5 scope, and he's from the fire element, and only the first attack is from the fire element. Well, this is good because you can actually change his element without losing much, because his best attack is actually F Chariot that deals 12 hits on the enemy. Okay, well, let's just check the number of hits. The first one is 1 hit, is Burst Tackle. The second one is Beanbagger that launches the enemy upwards, and this is the one that you may miss sometimes because Cliff also goes up and he may miss some of his attacks, depending on the size of the enemy. And then there's F Chariot, and F Chariot there's 12 hits, totalizing 17 hits for a free character. It's a lot of hits, very fun to play with this character, but well, his passive skills are not that good. It's unfortunate, but well, he's a free character. We can't complain about this. And when you look at Cliff, the first skill is something that draws the eye, and it's called Army Ignite, and it draws more enemy attacks. Well, by drawing more enemy attacks, he acts like an arguing with Orb or like Claws, but he doesn't have anything more defensive to back it up. See, this is the only passive skill that is around defensive stuff. He has Diversion, but Diversion lowers the enemy guard chance when he's attacking by up to 25%, and well, this is just in the way of him getting a better skill. There's also Acrobat Rage, and he increases the damage dealt with normal attacks against launched enemies. Well, the enemy has to be in mid-air for this to trigger, and he can trigger the enemy to the mid-air by using the Beanbagger, but the Beanbagger is the second attack, and then only the F Chariot will take advantage of this. So you have to use other character that launches the enemy, so Cliff can start by doing more damage with all 3 attacks, okay? And that's his only way to raise his attack, because all other skills is not related to deal more damage. And there's also his orb. We can check also on the banner because there's no image of it. And he increases physical attack and critical hit chances. Okay, it's good because well, it increases physical attack even more because he also gets more for the E activate, and critical hit rate is also very good. But it also turns him into an attacker with just this armor unit in the middle of it. It may work when you're using sorcerers, so he can draw more attacks to him, but he doesn't have any way to reduce the damage that he's getting inflicted. So you have to really use the potential force board to make him even stronger on defensive parts. Okay, he uses the gacha character potential force, so he gets more status from it. Okay, so there's a way to make Cliff defensive, but he's not the best one on it, and that's why he won't be that relevant in the game. Okay, but he's free, it's fun to use, a lot of hits. He can use on Valhalla Assaults because the number of hits, and will help a lot of people starting the game as well. Okay, so I hope this finishes this up. I really hope you enjoyed the video if you stayed this far. I appreciate if you can just subscribe and give a like, and we see each other on the next video. Bye.